Lawmakers are gathering for a special session right now, and there is no shortage of controversy.
They're meeting to approve using $200 million to help the victims of Hurricane Matthew, as well as the western North Carolina wildfires.
But the big question is, what else could be in the works? CBS North Carolina political reporter Bo Minnick joins us live from the General Assembly with some answers. Bo.
Yeah, Democrats and Republicans all agree that this money is needed to help the victims of the disasters here in North Carolina. But Democrats say they're also concerned about any other bills that could be introduced, including in that particular case, one that, if it is introduced and approved, would impact the party in the majority on the state Supreme Court.
There are human stories behind every one of those floods. Thousands of human stories behind every one of these floods.
Governor Pat McCrory delivering the message in person, asking state lawmakers for more than $200 million to go to the victims of Hurricane Matthew and the wildfires. The money would go to items including temporary housing and to improve damaged infrastructure.
To try to get people back in their homes, back into housing, and be able to move on with their lives and businesses.
There are a lot of people suffering still, and it's very important for us to try and help out those areas that were so ravaged by natural disasters.
There's also a lot of speculation that the Republican-led General Assembly could introduce a bill that would add 2 state Supreme Court seats. If Governor McCrory appoints 2 justices before he leaves office at the end of the year, it could tilt the majority of the court to Republicans.
If we're going to try to politicize this rather than focusing on what we ought to be here about, it is, I think, an absolute insult to the citizens of this state.
We've not had any formal discussions on that, and as of right now, I have no intention of having any formal discussions on that.
And the special session should last 2 or 3 days. Now, one other note to pass along, this bill dealing with disaster relief is called House Bill 2. It's not connected and has nothing to do with the controversial HB 2. The reason here why both share the same name is that both are bills that were introduced at the beginning of a special session. Live in Raleigh, Bo Minnick, CBS North Carolina.
All right, Bo, thank you. And the protest started up before the General Assembly even convenes this morning.
And they're still going on right now. Our Michael Hyland is with those demonstrators and joins us live. Michael?
The protesters have actually moved into the gallery of the House here. They're waiting for the House to come back into session this afternoon. The Senate's already gone home for the day, waiting to see what the House ends up doing. But this crowd has been here since this morning when lawmakers began the session. The NAACP and other interest groups have been organizing the protest. They're concerned about the rumors that Bo was talking about that have been going around that Republicans may try to add 2 seats to the state Supreme Court to keep the Republican majority. There's also been speculation about an effort to curb power to make appointments that incoming Governor Roy Cooper would have. However, Republicans we've talked to have not said those things will actually happen. House Speaker Tim Moore said earlier today about the Supreme Court issue, it's not something he'd like to see done. Still, some of the protesters here have a feeling of mistrust, citing House Bill 2 that passed earlier this year, which caught some of them by surprise.
No, we don't have any guarantees that they're trying anything, but frankly, they have not earned the trust of the people.
As this protest was happening, reporters got a blistering email from the head of the state Republican Party, Dallas Woodhouse. He criticized the coverage of this issue, saying it's all been driven by rumor. He says the court expansion is something, quote, we were never doing. But these protesters say they plan to stay here and be back in the coming days for as long as this special session lasts. Live in Raleigh, Michael Hyland, CBS North Carolina.